Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Radiant Kitchen. Welcome and thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you learn some great information that you can carry on into your day-to-day life from today's episode. So of course I will have a myth of the day, I'll have a superfood of the day, which today is quinoa, and I will also have a food group to speak to you about, which is yogurt. So let's get straight into it. Today's myth is all about low fat or no fat is the way to go. And this myth is busted. Now, the thing with low fat is we've been drummed into our brains that low fat is the way to go, or no fat or light. All those options are exactly the same thing, and all of them I'm telling you to quit now. Have you noticed that since we've been given these products, these no fat, low fat and light products, that obesity has gotten worse? That's right, obesity has gotten worse because of since these products have been introduced to try and combat obesity. It's pretty funny, really. It's one thing laughing at the other. So the reason why is, to not go too deep into it, is pretty much that when a product has had the fat taken out of it, they need to replace that fat with something, and usually 99% of the time it is sugar. So as you would have seen on episode 1 when I spoke about chocolate, I mentioned briefly about why you should choose full fat, and also with soft drink, for instance, to stay away from diet. And if you're going to have soft drink, go for proper soft drink. No Diet Coke, no Coke Zero, go for Coke if that's what you want to have. As you know, I do not recommend soft drink. It has nothing great in it for you at all. But if you are somebody that enjoys a soft drink every now and then, stay away from your sugar-free, because they're full of artificial sweeteners, not natural sweeteners like stevia. They are full of artificial chemicals. And it's the same with yogurt, cheese, milk, all that stuff, dairy products that are low fat or no fat. They really have taken out the fat and replaced it with sugar. Now, why do we need sugar in our cheese, in our milk? You know, like, honestly, why do we need that? Sugar's just in everything these days, and it's about becoming aware of where you can really eliminate it out of your diet, where it's not necessary. And cheese, to me, is definitely not necessary with having sugar in it. So get straight back to your full fat. I must admit, I still drink skinny milk because I just can't drink full cream milk. It just tastes like I'm drinking cream. So for that reason, I still drink skinny milk. But when it comes to yogurt, I've got rid of all low fat. I just don't have it in the house anymore. It's just not good for you. In the way that your body breaks down food, fat is the first thing that it breaks down. It can easily break down fat. Then you've got sugar, so you've glucose. That is a bit harder for your body to break down. And if you've got too much of that, that goes straight to your belly, which is called visceral fat, and it is the worst type of fat that you can get. So, think about it. Since low fat, no fat and light have been in existence, obesity has gotten worse. So that has to say something. Let's go back to basics. Take it back to how our grandparents used to eat. And that is how we should be eating. So I highly recommend, if you are one of those people, and I know I was, and especially programs such as much as I love Michelle Bridges, her program has a few flaws in it, as I'm learning about nutrition and being a personal trainer myself. She's all about low fat. Stop it. Go straight for your full fat. Your body will thank you for it. You're not having extra sugar. It's just absolutely a myth. So see how you go. Try and push through. I know it's hard when you first reach for that full fat yogurt. It's scary, but your body will thank you for it, and you won't put on the kilos that you would if you're just having all this sugar and unnecessary foods. So definitely give that a go for me. Your superfood of the week is quinoa. Now, I am a huge fan of quinoa, and it's just awesome. It dates back 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. That's right, it is an ancient grain that has been around for thousands of years. And when man first realised that it's something that they could eat, they called it the superfood. And that is why quinoa is a superfood. It has so many great things in it for you. Now let me get a little bit technical and a little bit scientific with the great things that quinoa has. It is rich in protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids that your body needs. It has twice as much fibre as any other grain. It contains iron, which is fantastic for women, and especially if you aren't a huge meat eater. Quinoa has iron in it for you, so it's another great source of getting your iron. It's rich in magnesium, so it promotes healthy blood sugar control. And usually when you crave chocolate, magnesium is what your body's lacking. So make quinoa into something sweet and have that for your sweet treat instead of chocolate. It's high in B2, which creates proper energy production in your cells, and it's a high content of manganese. So as you can see, quinoa is full of goodness, and I love it. Yes, it's expensive. A bag like this cost me about $10, but with all the benefits that it has, this will last quite a while as well. And it's got so many different ways of cooking with it. You can make salads with it. You can use it as a substitute for rice, which I love to do. And I know a few of my clients who love making their own sushi. I told them to try quinoa instead of rice, and that works. So that's a great idea for a sushi option as well, adding quinoa instead of your rice. You can also make quinoa porridge, which I'm going to be making this week out of a new recipe book that I've got, so I'll let you know how that goes. And it can just be used in so many things. So I highly recommend investing in quinoa. As you're probably learning, superfoods are more expensive usually than like your rice, of course. Rice isn't going to cost you $10 for a bag this big, but rice doesn't have any goodness in it like this does. So quinoa is definitely one of my favourite superfoods and something I highly recommend that you add into your diet. Alright, let's move on to the fun part, investigating and looking at the nutritional panels. So this week, as I mentioned, is yogurt. And I also have a yogurt here that one of my beautiful Radiant Lifestylers, Kylie, eats, and she wanted me to have a look for her and compare that. So I've got that here for her as well. So I have got Greek yogurt. I also bought a flavoured yogurt. I bought a vanilla yogurt, and I looked at every single yogurt that I could find in the supermarket and came across the one with the highest amount of sugar. So let's go back to how much sugar should be in things. So that's what I'm really focusing on with yogurt, is another source of hidden sugar really. And the amount of sugar in some yogurts is almost the same as a dessert. You know, like that is insane. So it's all about just knowledge, and that's what I want Radiant Kitchen to provide you with, is that knowledge. So there should be 5 grams of sugar per 100 grams is good. A lot is 12 grams per 100 grams. So keep that in mind as I'm going through the different types of yogurt. So let's start with the worst one that I could find. And the worst one I could find was Tropical Mango Fruit. So this has 15.8 grams of sugar per 100 grams. So that is a lot. If 12 is a lot, 15 is a lot too. So you're almost looking at half of what is in 100 grams of Lindt dark chocolate. So there is a lot of sugar in this, and this should be seen as a dessert, not as a healthy snack. So just be careful if you are a person that eats fruit. Maybe go with some of the other options that I'm going to talk about today. So that is the baddie of today. I apologise to fruit. Alright, let's go on to our flavoured ones. I went with a Greek yogurt. Chobani has become quite popular and quite big, and I know a few of my clients have Chobani. So I've got Chobani Blueberry here, and I also bought Fields Blueberry in Dairy Farmers Thick and Creamy. So the Dairy Farmers Thick and Creamy has 14.1 grams of sugar per 100 grams, whereas the Chobani has 11 grams per 100 grams. So you can see there is a bit more sugar in the Thick and Creamy. So out of these two, I would definitely go for Chobani. I looked at all the flavours that my supermarket had, and they all range between 11 and 11.5 grams of sugar per 100 grams. So remembering that 12 grams is a lot. So this isn't too bad for flavoured yogurt. So I highly recommend Chobani Greek yogurt if that's what you're after for flavour. I went with vanilla ice cream next. I went with, again, Dairy Farmers Thick and Creamy Classic Vanilla Yogurt. And I also got the 5am Organic Vanilla Bean Yogurt. So I was actually really interested in this because I love organic things, and I love how our supermarkets these days are providing us with more options in our general supermarkets. So I was interested to get this one. With the thick and creamy, we have 14.3 grams of sugar, so that is more than the flavoured ones in vanilla, so that's interesting. And the 5 a.m. here has 11 grams, so that has the same amount as the Chobani blueberry Greek yogurt, whereas the thick and creamy has almost the same, if not a little bit more than its flavoured counterpart. So definitely let's stay away from Dairy Farmers thick and creamy, because so far they're looking like the worst. So vanilla bean, I would go with the 5 a.m. I think. Now on to Greek yogurt. If you can, I highly recommend that you have Greek yogurt. It has the least amount of sugar than any other yogurt, but it's definitely an acquired taste and something you can't really eat on your own. So I enjoy my Greek yogurt. You will see with my Radiant yogurt bowl with berries. I have all bran, I have chia seeds, and I have a drizzle of rice malt syrup. So definitely Greek yogurt, you need to have things with it. You can have honey with your Greek yogurt, which is delicious. Add some berries, add some fruit, add other sources of sweetness instead of getting the full-on sugar that the flavoured yogurts have. So again, I went with Chobani Greek yogurt. So this is natural, it's not light or anything. And I've gone with Kylie, who has the Farmers Union light Greek style natural yogurt. So I've got a light and I have a full fat Greek yogurt here. So your light has 9 grams of sugar. So it's almost up with the Chobani flavoured and the 5 a.m. vanilla. So it's a little bit of a difference, but not too much. The full Greek yogurt here only has 3.8 grams. So as you can see, that's exactly what I was talking about before with our myth. The light has a lot more sugar, almost 3 times the amount of sugar that our full fat Greek yogurt has. So that is a big difference. So if you're a Greek yogurt lover like myself, I highly recommend that you go with the full fat and forget about the light, because that's a perfect example. Again, reiterating 9 grams compared to 3.8. So definitely start to get rid of the low fat and light options out of your fridge. So that is all for today. I hope that helped you. I know I'm a huge yogurt lover, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well. And it's just all about learning and getting to know what's good for you and what's not, and getting rid of the unnecessary sugar in your diet. Like I said, Greek yogurt has a bit of an acquired taste, so adding lots of other different things to get that sweetness into it, and your body will thank you for it. You can have an extra bliss ball. So that is all for today's episode of Radiant Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it very informative, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.